Hello everybody, Vagabond here. As always, if you enjoy my content, please feel free to like, favorite and subscribe. And to those of you who have subscribed since my last video, thanks very much. And also, obviously a big thanks has to go out to my friend Paul Q for his shout out on his last PK approved. I'd give you I'll link you in the description also, but I neither know how to do that, and I also know the fact that all my subscribers are already subbed to your channel, so no point. Anyway, the topic of today's commentary is the activity known as camping in online multiplayer games. These are more common in online FPS games than in other games, just because of the nature of first-person shooter games. For those of you who don't know what camping is when you play an online first-person shooter game, but you do very little moving in the game. A typical camper will remain aimed at one specific area of the map and wait for the enemy to run by. Before I give my actual opinion of campers, I suppose I have to play the devil's advocate and say that camping is indeed the most successful way to play an online FPS game, provided that the objective of the game is merely to get the most kills as possible and die the least amount of times. A camper is always in a situation where they will win the gunfight, unless their opponent is far more skilled than them, and that means that most times they win the gunfight and they're most effective players of the game. Now that that's out of the way, for balance sake, here's my actual opinion of campers. Anybody who camps in an online video game, is just a bitch. They act as though how you do in a video game actually matters in real life. They feel as though like a video game is actual life. Like if you die in a video game, oh my god, it has such big ramifications in the real world. No, it's not. Just stop thinking like that. Don't be so stupid. There's nothing fun about camping at all. Admittedly, back in 2010-2011, when I was still new to first-person shooter games, I camped the odd time. It's really the only way for a new player to have a chance against more skilled players. But if you've been playing FPS games for like, I don't know, more than 2 or 3 months and you still camp, just get out. Like, stop playing the game. It's ridiculous. Now, for those of you who don't play FPS games, you're probably thinking, well, what's so bad about camping? I'll tell you. If there were no campers in video games, everybody would run around, and when you see a guy, you'd start shooting. Sometimes you'd win the gunfight, sometimes you wouldn't. This is a recipe for a good, fast-paced game. There are campers there, you're constantly having to check every single corner. You're like, oh no, can I run in here? No, I can't, because I have to check this corner, see if there's a camper in there. This slows down the entire pace of the game, and there's nothing more frustrating than getting killed by some little shithead off in the arsehole of the map in some corner you never thought anybody would be in. Another thing that's bad about camping is that it ruins a lot of games that would be really good, even superb, if people didn't camp. For example, the last 3 Call of Duties, that being Ghosts, Black Ops 2 and Modern Warfare 3, could potentially be good games. Universally, people think that since Black Ops 1, Call of Duty's been getting a lot worse. This isn't true. Well, apart from Ghosts, so that's just a bad game. Anyway, the games themselves haven't actually been getting better. It's just the community that play them has been getting worse. It's getting more campy, and like anything the developers put in that they could exploit to camp, they will, and it just makes a horrible playing experience. I'm going to treat the last part of this commentary as a nature documentary, as it would, to help you identify the different types of camper. Patrollers are people who just take a certain part of the map and run back and forth, patrolling it, looking for enemies. These are the most acceptable type of camper. I mean, they're at least on the move. You have a chance to meet them in a one-on-one gunfight. They're still campers, but they get sort of a half pass. The next type of camper is a head glitcher. First of all, what is head glitching? Head glitching is when you crouch down behind like a chest height object and you just point your gun over that, and basically all the enemy can see is your head, hence head glitching, and it's really annoying. Most head glitchers will usually perform their art of head glitching like in an area where there's a lot of traffic, and this can at least be useful like in the games such as Domination, Call of Duty. They can lock down a flag, but it's still annoying to get killed and they don't get any pass, they're just full blown camper. The final and worst type of camper is the corner lurker, which I named couple of years back when I first started playing Call of Duty. A corner lurker is a person who basically go into a room or an enclosed area. They put their mines down, they put their sensors down, all the shitty equipment they need, and they'll just lie down in the corner and point their gun at one, like the door. And the minute you walk in, they just shoot you, and it's like, oh, they think they're great, and they're not, and it's just so annoying. And I think if you're caught doing that, you should be like banned from the game for like an hour or something, because it's just so annoying, and they shouldn't play the game like that. It's just boring. Anyway, before I ramble on too long, I'll end this part of the commentary. I hope you enjoy the rest of the gameplay, and as always, Vagabond out.